Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Planet Chaos. So as you see, we started tearing down some of the older builds here around here to make sure we got room for some of the newer stuff that we've got planned. So took down the big kelp farm. We'll probably rebuild it somewhere else. I did make sure to save all my blocks over there in a chest. So definitely got all of our goodies. This house, I like the house. I don't like the roof. I don't like the little peaky peaks in the roof. I don't like the peaks. So I did some more testing in a creative world, and I think I found a good compromise. So we're gonna go up there and fix the roofs on this house, and I think it'll look a lot better. So you'll have to let me know. Does it look better? Ready? Oh wait, let's go fly somewhere and take a look. I think it's got too much of a peak in it. Too much peaks. Too many peaks. Too deep. The peaks are too deep. It's too sharp. If I have sharpness up there, then I should probably have sharpness down here to match. It'd probably look a lot better. But even though this is a flat line right there, I kind of want to leave it alone. So we're going to leave the bottom of the roof alone, the eaves, and we're going to go up to the peak of the roof, and we're going to change some of that stuff. So I think that's what we'll do at the very start of this episode. What do I have on me? I've got some... Yeah, and after I get that roof fixed over there, then we're going to come over here to the future villager trading center and talk about what our plans are for this. So we're going to start building this piece next. It's going to be great. We're actually going to have a place that we can store all of our villagers, and we'll have the ability to send them off to become zombified, and we can heal them, put them back into their little pods, and everything should be good to go. Green to green. So yeah, let me get my inventory sorted out, and I will meet you up on the roof of the house. Jump cut. Now I can't remember exactly how I did it. I'm probably going to have to jump over into my creative world just to refresh my memory on how I did it. Cool. Well, follow me over to the creative world, and we'll see what I have over there. Okay, but 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. Okay. But yeah, see, this was the original idea. I kind of like the flat roof there, but I think it's too flat. And then from here, it's going to be slabs. Hi, bee. Buzz, buzz. Oh yeah, that already looks a lot better. Okay, I think that's it as far as like roof repair goes. So we got to do it to the other corners though. So we need to take out this one. Oh yeah, it already looks 10 times better. Oh yeah. I think it looks better from this angle as well. What do you think? Doesn't look nearly as crazy, and I think that's a good thing for this roof. I guess the roof kind of does a little tattered and torn from a distance, but that's a good thing too. But yeah, what do you think? Which roof do you prefer? Do you prefer the pointy roof or do you prefer the more sloped roof like that? Cool. Well, now that we got that sorted out, now we can come back over here to our future villager trading hall and we can go over on what's going to happen over here. So it doesn't look like a lot of space right now, especially for a villager trading hall. You usually need quite a bit of room, but we're actually going to dig down. So we're going to dig out all the room that we need. The reason that we're going to dig down is that I didn't want the top of this build interfering with the side of this build. So we kind of made a like circus tent kind of opening that'll go on top and then it'll open up and go as far down as we need it to go. So let's flip over to the testing world. We're going to go over the pods that I made for the villagers and see what all we got going on there. So let's go. So welcome to my testing world. You can tell that it's totally filled with all kinds of goodies, can't you? I know. I know. I know. A little jealous, aren't you? Yeah, just kidding. I know this isn't I haven't done a lot of work in this testing world, but I have done some more in recent days. So here, I'm going to give you an idea of my little thought process behind the steps of creating this little villager trading hall. Let's go check it out. So first off, obviously I started with the footprint that I have in Planet Chaos to begin with, and I started building off of that. I like this design. I like the slope. The materials I'm going to change. I'm going to end up using diorite and polished diorite stairs for the structure where the bricks are. And then, of course, the crimson slabs, say I'll probably keep them the same and use them there in tandem with, that roof design there so that they'll kind of match. I hope they don't match too much and kind of take away from each other. That would be bad. I guess I could just go through and replace some of the materials and I might be able to change it up somewhat. I'm just going to have to start building it in Planet Chaos and see how much or what they look like when they're right next to each other. Should be interesting. But I'm definitely keeping this design. I kept it low profile because I didn't want it to interfere with some of the details on the side of the house that it's going to be right next to. So I really like the slope. I really like how it cuts back. It almost looks like a circus tent. So it's pretty awesome. It's going to have 3 different entrances, one at each end, and have stairs that go down into the villager trading center. And then it's going to have a 3rd entrance here in the middle, right on or right next to the pathway. And this one will be a little bit taller because these bricks and everything will actually be 4 blocks above where the pathway is. So it should have a nice little entrance, but it'll also have a little stairs or walkway that'll go down into the trading hall so that you can get it all to all the villagers. And the reason you're going to end up having to go down is because you can see the footprint of the top of the building there, but each pod that we designed actually sticks out quite a ways. Each pod is a footprint of 3 by 12, and the hole here is where the villagers are going to sit. So you'll be able to walk in, trade with them. If you need to send them off to get turned into a zombie to lower their trades, you can do that. It'll even have a button that you can use to reset the pod and make it available for the villager whenever he comes back from being zombified and cured. So I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. I know tons of other people have created designs like this before, but I actually did some testing and thought it out for my own, and I kind of figured it out using information online. Obviously, I'm didn't figure it all out by myself. I watched some mumbo jumbo videos. He taught me what a dropper hopper T flip flop was. So, so I definitely had some help. But this is what I came up with. So first off, I came up with the pod. I wanted a pod there that I could stick the villager in, and I wanted to keep the villager in a minecart. So whenever I needed to send him off to get turned into a zombie, we can hit the switch. It'll open it up, drop the villager and the minecart down, and then we can close it back up. And that way, the next villager to come through doesn't just instantly drop all the way through. So I knew that I needed to have them come in on a minecart. My next step was trying to figure out a good way to manipulate the tracks to make sure that the pod didn't have two villagers sent to it and creating a, just a traffic jam in general. But yeah, so we'll utilize the detector rail in order to send a signal over and have the track switch. But that should keep from villagers from going to one pod. That should keep them moving down the line. Ultimately, I came up with this little design. The villagers will come through from this direction, go on the tracks, and this pod, let's say it's empty, so they'll go on the tracks, turn the corner, hit that detector rail, and that'll activate this redstone. The redstone will come down here, it'll activate this dropper hopper T flip flop, which will in turn trigger the comparator, the repeater, the redstone, and it'll come back up here and switch the tracks to where the next villager to come down the line will end up continuing on to the next pod. At the same time, we piggyback off that signal, so when it turns off and the rails switch, this line will also turn off, and it'll turn off this light. When the light is off, you'll know that the pod is full. If the light is on, you'll know that it's ready for the next villager. And this button here is used to ready the pod. So you can use it to switch the tracks as well. So as you can see, switch the tracks, everything is off. So if another villager came along, it would keep on going to the next pod. The light is off, telling us that this pod is full. So if we send this villager off to get turned into a zombie, we can hit this lever, open it up, drop them down, close it back up, and then you hit the button to reset the tracks. The light comes on to let you know the pod is ready. And that way, when the zombie is done getting turned or cured, you can send him back through the system and he'll go back to the same pod. It's a pretty easy little system. Like you could probably just freeze the video and pretty much gather what all I did from there. Very easy, pretty simple. I'm really pleased that I figured it out all on my own instead of watching a like a tutorial on how to build villager trading halls or stuff like that. So, like I said, it's nothing genius. No genius redstone work here, but I am pleased that I did it all by myself. Look at that. But yeah, once the door gets open, they drop down on the tracks, come over here, hit this middle track, and then they get sent off to the zombie converter. Once they get converted into a zombie, then they get cured, and then they can get sent back along this track. So I think we got a cool system. I think it works really well. It does mean we've got a lot to dig out. For each level of trading hall, we're going to end up having to dig out 37 by 39 by 15. I figure if we go with 15, that should give us enough room to actually put a ceiling above each trading level and actually have enough room for these tracks to get sent off to whatever zombie converter we have. So, should be pretty good. The next step is figuring out the numbers and quantities of all of the materials that I need for each pod and getting all that stuff together, digging out the hole, and then we can start putting everything together. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for this one. And then we'll actually have a place that we can put our villagers, and then we can start organizing and figuring out what other villagers we want to trade with. We definitely need some armor villagers and some weapons villagers, that kind of thing, so we can get some free materials. We're not just using diamonds, even though we've got so many diamonds. We've got all the diamonds. I figure that's the game plan. What do you think? Think it's a pretty good game plan? Are you excited to see the villager trading center go up? I'm gonna start trying to get a lot of digging done, get a lot of this side work and stuff done off camera. So I think that's where we're gonna cut it off. We're gonna cut this episode a little short. Actually, I don't know how short it's gonna be. Right now I've been recording for over an hour, and this isn't the only video I've recorded. So who knows? It might be like 15-20 minutes long. It might be like 5 or 10 minutes. We will see. But anyway, if you like the idea, if you like the video, hit the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Always happy to have you around. If you like catching people streaming, I stream on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I stream on YouTube and Twitch, so find me wherever is convenient for you. And that's about it. So yeah.